And we're live. We're going to talk about this off. We're going to talk about this whole fat loss that everybody's obsessed with on keto. What's going on? Just saying. All right, guys, you guys are chiming in slowly, and we're going to do some keto talk. Yes. Yes. Where are you guys? When I watch other live streamers, they'll be like doing weird stuff, like they'll be in the bathroom or blowing their nose. And, I'm like, what's up, guys? What's up? Myself, Funky Fresh. What is up? All right. So hopefully we can keep this quite short because this girl has so little time. Yay, you're the first thumbs up. I don't know, Amanda. There was like a couple before you. I hope so. I really hope so. So let's see here. What's up, everyone? What is going on? House. Darn, you're so funny. People chime in fast. It comes fast. So as you guys are coming into the chat, and I'm going to say hello more to you guys once I see some of my regulars, I'm going to talk about fat loss on keto. Is that just a myth? Because so many people do it and don't ever actually keto adapt, and then they don't know if they're adapted, and you don't really see people walking around at 51 like this, right? And all that kind of stuff. So I thought it would be good to talk about it so people can learn more if they want to even decide to do this dietary protocol or not. Or not. Now, as you guys know, it's been quite interesting. Well, of course, yes, that's what you do when you're in your 50s. You are very proud of your achievements. Somebody's like, show off. And I'm like, well, yes, I made it this long on this planet. All right, new follower. All right, Margaret. Okay, so here we go. A lot of people do keto, obviously, the wrong way, which is the main reason why people are not adapting. I'm not going to lie. And they just kind of frack themselves up. And I pretty much say in all of these really, really trendy diets, people have the propensity to damage their body. And that's what no one ever talks about. And that is why I'm here. Okay, let's set this record straight. First follower of today, maybe. Yeah, so here's the problem. People don't learn about the science of what actually happens, the whole metabolic process or processes. As soon as you put it in your mouth, then it comes out the other end. I mean, people aren't really talking about that. So what are they talking about? They talk about trends like intermittent fasting, and intermittent fasting has its place if you rest, right? You can't do stuff while intermittent fasting. If you guys have such bad Crohn's disease, for example, or diverticulitis, inflammation of the bowels, if you have food sensitivity so bad, then on particular days, you could potentially intermittent fast, but you'd have to do nothing if you don't wanted a rebound of a metabolic backlash. So now, I really feel that so many people are not adapting. And then there's a lot of people who are, but that a lot of people is about 5%. Most people do it because they want to lose weight or lose fat on the keto diet. They have friends that say, oh, my neighbor did that and he lost 60 pounds and he looks great. But with all of these trends, we got to catch up on these people year, 2 year, 3 year down the line. Unfortunately, the people who are getting the anecdotal information, a lot of it is by somebody's perception of that they think they're in ketosis, which is very bizarre. Because some people are just feeling so bad, like keto because it gives me a clear head. Yes. There's a lot of benefits. I coach a lot of people. I've done it for years and years and years and years and years. And 9 times out of 10, if not every single person, sees amazing benefits from doing a keto diet. For example, um, like people who have Crohn's or the diverticulitis or ulcers, people who've got food sensitivities who narrow things down will see improvements. Big things I notice is an improvement in sleep. A lot of people are sleeping better on keto, and so we got to understand why people are sleeping better. Oh, call me keto queen. Thank you. People are sleeping better because they begin to regulate their blood sugar. Many people do. A lot of people skip meals. They eat too late. They have digestive issues, and then they're eating food late, and then they don't digest the food well, and then they have this experience of inverted cortisol. Their sleep is disrupted, and so when they do keto, and especially if they follow MAP protocol, which is even more, I think, extreme than a GAPS protocol. GAPS as in gaps in the intestinal lining. Because I really get people to pay attention to cycling their foods, testing to see what foods might be bothering them. Now, a lot of you guys don't realize that if you do a keto diet, you got to know your existing issues. If you don't know what they are and you do keto, you probably aren't going to have a lot of success on a ketogenic diet. Definitely not for the long term. Hey, Eduardo. Hello. So let's get the likes up. There are 80, no, there's not 85. Darn it. There's 57 people and 19 likes. So if you guys can get the like count up, I'm going to go more into this topic, and that'll help people find my channel, because a lot of people don't know that I exist, even though I was one of the first people to talk about this darn stuff on the internet. I got buried under all the cheese and nuts and bulletproof stuff and garbage. Nonsense and lies and BHB salts and all this nonsense. So, okay, so let's get down to the nitty gritty. You have to know what your existing health is. And it's like weird stuff, like, is your poop pale colored? Do you have pressure in your stomach when you eat these fats? Do you have headaches on keto? Does your breath smell? Do you have a white tongue? Do you have a rash in your forearms and your chest? Do you have eczema? Do you have high blood pressure? Do you have high blood sugar? Do you know your A1C? Do you know your insulin? Are you estrogen dominant? Have you experienced headaches before you ever do keto? Do you have acid reflux? And I'm going to break down all these things that I just mentioned so you understand why they are so important to know, including your sleep, including your workouts, and your energy levels. And if your poop is rising to the top and if your pee is bubbly, let's go through it so we can make keto successful. So keto is not a myth if it's done correctly. It is, you can experience fat loss, but that's such a like 10 down the list of what you actually will experience, because the main thing you're going to experience is really stable energy. No more crashing, no more needing to take a nap, no more crankiness, PMSing, sleep is on point, boop. And then there's a barrage of other things like skin quality, sagginess, dark circles around the eyes, people getting UTIs, weird infections, things of this nature. All things down the list are things that start to improve. And then all of a sudden it's like, oh, okay, I'm lean. And I don't even know why. You are using ketones. Hello. My mod is in the house. So we got Deborah in the house, and she is going to watch over the chat. So if I miss anything, she might be able to write in caps to give me some attention. And she will block, delete, and put people in timeout who are trolls, because that is a part of our internet culture at this juncture. So your hair is falling out, and that's another by effect. So let's go through the list of crappy things that happen. So hair falling out, that's the thyroid. People have crazy menstrual cycles, like either the menstrual cycle stops or they just bleed and bleed and bleed. And around their menstrual cycle, the blood sugar goes through the roof, which when I was at the Paleo FX, none of these guys knew that. I was like, okay, you're like a health professional, you don't know this? Dude, where you been? Okay. Hey Gary, you're fairly new to the keto world. Well, you found the right channel, honey. Okay. So, hi everyone. So, let's go through the crappy things that could happen, right? So, we start off with the hair falling out. People start to get stomach aches, and typically that is from their gallbladder. Stomach aches, pressure in the stomach, nausea, they shaky. These are all the shakiness would be hypoglycemic symptoms. They have super bad headaches, or they'll have a numb headache that's just a dull headache that just keeps aching and aching. Of course, the stinky breath, stinky body odor, total skin breakouts, rashes, the candida symptoms, obviously, die-off symptoms. People will experience crappy sleep because prior to doing keto, they were using carbohydrates to put them to sleep. And now there's nothing to drop their blood sugar. And so they're awake. So that's a by effect of people doing keto the wrong way. People develop dry eyes, dry mouth, dry lips. They develop like weird stuff that's not generally spoken about. People will notice crepey skin. That's one thing that people talk about that no one else talks about. I'm missing. Yes. Deb is the moderator because not only does she zap the trolls, but she knows a lot. So sometimes I may not see a question and she can answer the things that she knows. So that's why she's an amazing mod. So yes, keto does help with cancer. Now, I should be careful how I say that, but I believe that it does. Being it that I started doing keto because my mother had a glioblastoma, very advanced, stage 4 brain cancer, and I don't know if keto was the catalyst to the reason why the woman is still alive today after they gave her no chance of survival, but she's still around. So I will never say that keto cured her because there was a lot of things done at that time to try to get out toxins out of my mother's life. But with that said, I will always say theoretically it should, because cancer cells have insulin receptors take in glucose, and cancer cells love to divide. So the theory is that you take down the glucose, you take down the insulin, and you don't feed cancer cells. And so cancer cells have a hard time to divide on ketones. So with that said, the crappy things that happen typically are like constipation and thyroid disorder, gallbladder issues, gallbladder symptoms, candida die-off symptoms, headaches, low energy, hypergluconeogenesis, and poor sleep, and crazy menstrual cycles, no menstrual cycle, or a drop in testosterone. Yep. Those are the things that can happen if you do it wrong. Mm-hmm. So that's why I say, is this the truth or is it a myth, this whole thing? So the downsides people have done keto up to a year, and because they won't change their habits, they have to stop. So it's not like are these symptoms temporary? These symptoms may never ever even develop if you do it the right way. Okay? So some things you can't avoid if you have really bad systemic candida and parasites and you start from a carb diet, you can't avoid the die-off. So that's everyone, like, you can't avoid that. Now, you can lessen the die-off symptoms by doing keto slower over time, like drop down, take your starches and sugars out, drop down, or your processed starches, break it down. Well, I shouldn't say that because sometimes I put people on small amounts of white rice, but you take down the amount of starches and most starches, and you take it out, and the sugars and the fruits, the sweet fruits, and you do that slowly over time. So when you finally go full keto, you don't have like a massive die-off reaction. So, but if you've got systemic candida, most likely you're going to have some kind of die-off. Your symptoms are going to be extreme based on how you do the dang diet. So let's say with the hair falling out. So I always try to tell people, check to see if you have any hypothyroid symptoms if you have not been diagnosed with hypothyroidism or Hashimoto's. to like the chat, collapse the chat window, hit the thumbs up, and reopen the chat. Thank you, Deborah, for letting people, to teach them how to like up the stream. So I like to talk about the stuff that a lot of people don't like to talk about, because people like to just go over the science, and I'm like, it's kind of boring. I mean, it's not boring to those who've never heard it before, to the explanation of why you don't have to worry about saturated fats in animal fat, which animal fat is not even dominant in saturated fats. It's dominant in unsaturated fat. Or why you don't look at your LDL total number when you're eating animal fats. You look at the particle size, or you look at your inflammatory markers, or you know your existing health before doing keto. Certain things that you have to be aware of for those who've got high blood pressure, or they know that they have coronary artery disease and plaquing on a lot of calcium deposits and plaquing in their arteries. Then we have to be careful about the amount of sodium being used, especially at very thin, shreddy, horrible, weak arteries, because the sodium is going to raise the water volume. But with that said, you have to then how much sodium that you take, because you're dumping a lot of water. So then people, that's why people have the dull headaches. They drop a lot of water. They tell their friends, oh my God, I lost 20 pounds on keto. And I'm like, well, most of that's water. You got to give it time before you even start looking at the scale. And that's the problem. People step on the scale and step on the scale and step on the scale every single day. And that you just can't do that. Just can't. Nope. All right. So, is there a different way to start if you have medical problems? Yeah. So another thing is, like, if you are on a lot of pharmaceutical medications because you have a pre-existing issue and you're on certain types of pharmaceuticals, corticotropic things and other medications, then yeah, especially if you're like on metformin and thyroid medications and whatever people take, things like proton pumps and weird stuff, yeah, or SSRIs, you have to be very careful, because they can actually make it more difficult. And I notice when coaching people that when people are on these pharmaceuticals, their blood sugar is real high or real low. It's very unstable. So number one, know your pre-existing issues. If you don't know them, take a moment, guys, and look at your body with a new ear, a new understanding. So check your stool quality, check your sleep, check to see if you have benign heart palps, because that's a lack of potassium, and potassium in the diet, or you don't have enough internal stored potassium. If you feel super tired, more than you should on keto, then we've got to look at things like your adrenal insufficiencies. We've got to look at B12, your B complex insufficiencies, and then we have to look at malabsorption. So a lot of you guys have leaky gut. If you have leaky gut and you try to do keto to heal the gut, it's great, but it's like balancing all the time. Okay, I've got leaky gut, and I'm absorbing or dropping it, and balance of everything that you need to do each day, so then your body will begin to actually utilize the ketones, not just make them, because we can take ketones, which are units of fat from either what you're eating or from your body fat, right? And then get them into the cells of your body for energy as ATP, to get into the Krebs cycle, to get into the brain. So you're not reliant on high levels of glucose. So, let me see. Oh, thank you, left my torso, thank you. I have a lower half too, right? Right? I got, I'm just kidding. Sort of kidding. Okay, so here we go. All right. Now, I propose for people to go out and get a glucometer, because it'll put you in a range to understand the algorithms of and shifts of your blood sugar. Even though the blood glucometer machine is not 100% correct, same as these sleep apps, but they can put you into a general understanding of your sleep patterns or your blood values. Ketone blood measurements seem to be more accurate. So if you're producing like a 0.4 ketones, it's probably a 0.4. If your blood sugar says that it's 70, 90, it could be 83. But you really have to then start to match your symptoms with the blood sugar. So if it says that your blood sugar is 90 and you're tired, it's probably 90. Yeah, and your ketones, If the ketones are low and the blood sugar is high and you're tired, it's probably in that ballpark range. So yes, you guys, you absolutely can adapt and have the benefits of healing your autoimmunity doing a ketogenic diet. And then from there, you can get lean, right? Because now you've regulated your insulin, you've created insulin sensitivity in the body, and your thyroid is functioning, your liver is functioning, your kidney poop, and now you can poop out the estrogen that was in your freaking liver and gallbladder. And all these symptoms start to work. Your inflammatory situations of constipation or loose stool or pale stool, your itchy skin, your itchy bunghole, all that stuff goes away. And when you start to sleep better, you start to breathe more deeply, you begin to take down the inflammation in your body, and your central nervous system is reacting when it should, and it is getting into a parasympathetic state at night when it should. That's when you adapt. And that's when you start to notice things like less crepey skin, or less dark circles around the eyes, and less distress on the skin. The pores aren't so big. The broken blood vessels that people begin to develop around their nose begin to subside a little bit. And your energy increases. It's really incredible once you actually keto adapt, that people don't learn about the benefits of keto adapting beyond just fat loss. A lot of you guys are insulin resistant and you don't even know it. So this way you're able to regulate your insulin, which then regulates everything, including your fat loss and your anti-aging and your energy and your gains, right? And the muscles for the men. So I'm going to sit down and take your guys's, we went from 100 people down to 80. They're like, who is this girl? Whatevers. And then the consistent people stay. Okay, so I'm going to take your guys' questions, and then I am going to relax. Let's do this, you guys. Here we go. Let's do it. Let's do this. We see, wait, here we go. Wait, here we go. Okay, so yes, I definitely have a gut problem, and I can feel the difference from leaving out nuts. Yeah, coffee and cheese. Right, Carmela? People don't realize, like, I've been talking a little bit about the carnivore diet. It's not my lane, so I'm not going to go heavily into it, but I can see why people opt to do a carnivore diet, because they have so many autoimmune problems. Gary's right. You can subscribe to her Facebook page through her website, stephanieperson.com. Thanks, guys. Yeah, I have a keto course, and so each day we go over subjects each particular day, and then I also do mini consults and also do live streaming on weekends or on Sunday for the back spasms, any workouts to help. So I don't know. Here's the thing. I need to know where the pain is. Is it a sciatic area? Is it mid back, lower back? Like, all of these things matter. A lot of people who've got back spasms or like back pain, they should probably use a foam roller, because if you don't have somebody to massage that area of the back, right? Like, you're like, massage the area, because you want to bring blood flow to that area. And so a foam roller could help potentially. What's up, pal? So, Deborah, somebody's talking about eating 10 sandwiches. Can you check who that person is, Deborah? Let's see. Been ODing on your videos. Just cut out coffee since Tuesday. It's bad for the thyroid. It's really, really bad, because you guys, like, the enzymes and the antioxidants are like, they're just demolished in the roasting process of this very delicate coffee bean berry thing. And just the quality of coffee, like, these things aren't being spoken about when people are like, oh yeah, I drank some bulletproof coffee, which is a complete myth. And if you're having problems with your thyroid, that means you with your adrenal system, which means you drink coffee and it totally overstimulates the adrenal system, and then you start showing thyroid issues. Like, just don't listen to all these people. Get him, Deborah, get him. She's on it. I love having a mod in the house. I love. Get him, Deborah. No, I am. I don't even notice the trolls, Angie. All I see is Deborah deleted blah blah blah. Oh, it's dope. Super dope. Love it. Love, love, love. Okay, so yes, so coffee damages the adrenals because caffeine stimulates the adrenals to produce adrenaline that it normally would not. So you're using adrenaline for like sports, or you're using adrenaline to like drive, race car driver, or being extreme like skateboarder like myself, or you're using adrenaline to run from danger. And if you're taking something that's in your system at least 8 hours, then and there's such a distraction. I don't even notice them because I'm not. I just like notice when you delete them, Deborah. So your adrenals are like overstretched. So people don't realize they already have gut issues. It's very acidic to the gut lining. A lot of you guys have low stomach acid. Why more health professionals don't talk about this? And I also use this quote for myself. Why more people talking about health don't, no chia seeds, no. Why people don't talk more about the acidic reaction to the stomach, right? Because people's secretory IgA, the mucus lining is already compromised. Their stomach acids are too low. They're having acid reflux, and then they're drinking coffee. Like, how does that make sense? Like, I can say 20 things that are bad about coffee, and every coffee drinker at one point it's like, I shouldn't be needing to drink this, but then they'll always tell you that it tastes good, and they don't care or do it for the caffeine, they do it for the pleasure and all this garbage. Yeah, so decaf has super hardcore cancer causing nasty chemicals, as RTY Pepe says. I think it's called benzochloride, and they use chemicals to strip out the caffeine, and then not all of it's gone. So you might as well, you guys, start new habits and just get healthy, because this is the reason why people don't adapt. They just refuse to give up their addictions. So I really should do a live stream about people's addictions to everything. Addictions, insecurities, self-perception. Because if you want success, right? I'm a fixer. If there's something that I'm experiencing, let's say when I went through 10 surgeries on my left knee, like it was a hot mess. I refused to take NSAIDs, which is like blood thinners. I refused to take them. And they were like, you have to, because your inflammation has to go down. And here's some antibiotics. And I was like, I'm not taking those antibiotics, and I am not taking those NSAIDs. I'm not. Sorry. I'm going to find ways to balance my immune system, my lymphatic system, my red blood cells, my gut, instead of taking those nasty things that will make me sick later. The darker the coffee, the less caffeine. Nasty. It's just nasty. My mom was a heavy coffee drinker when I was growing up, and I just thought it was nasty. Seriously. And I'd had a couple cups, at like the coffee shop. Like, när jag bodde I Sverige, okay, när jag bodde I Göteborg, vi gick på stan och drack kaffe, right? So you guys know I lived in Sweden, so sometimes we would go fika, go drink some coffee, and I'd sit there with some creamy something junk. I was never into it. Knock on wood, I think my mom's nasty, stinky black coffee, because to me it's nasty. It's not a health food. So I always thought it was nasty. So I never had a problem with not drinking it. Okay, developed, what'd you say? I developed, somebody talk about rosacea. No? Rasa coffee. No coffee. Wait, okay. Heard of Rasa? Coffee, right? Because you herbal blend, but it really helped me kick the coffee habit. I mean, was that Katrina? No, wait. Yeah, Katrina. You can just, to be honest, I'm like, just quit. Like, don't baby step your way into it. Baby step your way into things that might cause an adverse reaction, like reactive hypoglycemia because you did keto overnight. Then you have to baby step. But it's great. I'm never ever, Katrina, I will never tell anybody to go drink that, faux coffee to get off coffee. Well, I shouldn't say never, but I don't feel any, as I sit here right now, I really just feel that people need to just get off and just freaking change their lifestyle. It's about time, guys, right? I mean, we're heading into a very strange future. So, like, time is ticking. Ain't no time like the present. And for those who are in my age group, we know that time's moving fast. And if you want to be on this planet with any real quality, you need to step it up now. Okay, so let's see here. Bulgaria. Okay, see, thank you for sharing your knowledge. Thank you, Camilla. Let me see. No coffee, Deborah says. Dark, wait, it's really heavy. Carbonized, burnt. So carcinogens or cancers. Probably, yeah. And then, I mean, it's heavily sprayed with pesticides. How many people are drinking organic, mycotoxin-free Swiss coffee? It's so expensive. So people will tend to just kind of digress to what they normally do. And that doesn't go into the things, not all. And then you have the adrenal issues, the freaking, it's so hard on your mucus lining. I'm going off. I'm just going off. I roast my own organic. I don't drink it every day. And you shouldn't drink it at all. I mean, it's just, there's nothing of any nutrient value to it. And it overstimulates, it stimulates the adrenal and it messes with your REM cycles. It's just not worth it. You know, when you just get older, at least for me, I'm like, there's no more effing around. Like, yo, it's time to get things popping now. Do you know what I mean? Like, it just is. You see, I did you right? I did have to try and replace my coffee with tea, some of the drink, and you didn't have to. You decided to. You didn't have to. It was years of an addiction. I'm glad that you're doing better, though. Deborah's just crushing it. Like, Deborah, I didn't even see the comment. I love this. Wake up and smell like keto. Exactly, RTY Pepe. It took me some time to green tea. I think there's something in green tea. I gotta research that is problematic to the body. Green tea, now less tired at night, having not shocked the adrenals. Exactly, Brianna. She's like, she's doing green tea and still has to go down. But there's also some kind of plant compound, because I think that green tea is a lectin. So I think that you guys who've got like anti-nutrient issues, which most of you do, then green tea, and this is the stuff like green tea is good for you, green tea is good for you, but nobody talks about, well, what if you've got freaking leaky gut? What if you've got issues with the anti-nutrients in plants? Okay, she loves Stephanie Keto Queen and sneak a cup of coffee once in a while. Well, ketone burner child, I wouldn't call yourself no ketone burner drinking a coffee. I mean, I'm making jokes, you guys, but the reality is, like, when you get older, you reflect on your life, you know? I'm around people, you guys know I'm turning 51 very soon. And I'm basically 51. But, I mean, you guys know that, like, when I go to the gym, I'm strong. My mind is so sharp, like, it moves fast. My motivation for things is, I think I have more motivation now than I ever had before. Because now I don't have the fear of rejection and fear of the unknown. So I'm not afraid, and I got tons of energy, and my body's strong. I'm gonna crush it! And a lot of you have never even reached that. So why not just keep drinking the coffee once in a while? Like, you can't see, you know, when you reach the top of Mount Everest, but I have, metaphorically speaking. So if you haven't reached the top, it's like, you know, you don't know, you're blind, like you don't see. So I want to you know, really kind of encourage people that it is okay to make big changes in your life for the better. Thank you, Paul. Thank you. Never look like you and never will. So that attitude, Angie, is the worst attitude, because I could jump, my brain, Angie, could jump into your body and I would friggin' rock the house. And then you would pop back into your body and be like, dang, look what stuff did to my body. I didn't think it could be done. So the mind is a powerful thing that is connected to your body. If you think that you can't, you cannot. Okay? I was on crutches, you guys, for almost 4 years. Fracked my knee up. This is even before I started working out. The doctors, all the surgeons that cut into my knee, which had 10 surgeries, and I had 5 surgeons. Uh-oh, we had a little Wi-Fi glitch. This pissed me off. I hope it's because my phone's not hot. No, it's not hot. What the heck? Sorry, guys, there's a glitch. Yeah, get him, Deborah. Get him! You trolls out there, I don't even know why you bother, because I can't see the comment because Deborah's so fast, I don't even see it. When you go to class reunions, people are surprised that you look awesome. I went to my 20 year. So I can't wait to go to my 40 year. So my 40 year is going to be, I'm like, hurry. It's going to be in 7 years, 40 years since I graduated from high school. And I went to my 20 year and I was like, I fell off. Like, I was like, okay, first of all, let me tell you guys, honey, let me tell you something, child. So I lived in Europe for almost 16 years. I used to be a pro skateboarder and I toured around. And I lived in like Amsterdam. I rented an apartment in Amsterdam and lived in a lot of places, France and Germany and blah, blah, blah. So I speak a little bit of these languages here and there. And I ended up living in Sweden. And I ended up living in Sweden almost 11 years. So this is why ibland jag försöker prata lite svenska. That's why sometimes I speak a little Swedish. So it's fun. All the people from Scandinavia are like, what's up, Steph? In a Nordic language, which is really fun because, like, I can't use that dang language anywhere else. Like, I should have lived in a Spanish-speaking country, but I digress. Anyway, so when I moved back to the States after living in Sweden, so I stayed extra long because I was going through surgery after surgery after surgery after surgery after surgery after surgery. I mean, like, over and over and over and over again, to the point where the doctors wanted to do one more, and I was like, nope, I'm done. And I'm out of this cold weather. So I went back to Cali. I'm from Cali, born and raised here. And I went to my 20-year high school reunion. I hadn't seen anyone in 20 years because I left to Europe when I was 19. So I saw them, a year? I saw them a year maybe after high school, and then I never saw them again. So when I was dreaming about my high school classmates, I dreamt of them as being 17 and 18-year-olds, not almost 40-year-olds. So when I went to my high school reunion, I had this dress on, right? I had this dress, and it was backless. The back went down to here, so it went way low, and it was kind of like this, where it was probably about this low in the front, and it was shoulder, and then it went low in the back. And it was just dope, right? I got it in Sweden. It was all European and all this kind of stuff. Anyway, so I go, and nobody's saying hello to me. And you guys may not know this, but I went to pretty much 99.9% white high school. And I was like, it was like, is this high school all over again? I'm just sitting against the wall, giving up cheese because of stuff. Thank you. So I'm like, I'm standing against the wall. Nobody's saying hello. Heart palpitations come from low potassium and not enough water, low electrolytes. So get on it. Spinach, avocado, make sure you don't have histamine response to them. Or did you see on the trolls tonight? I know. But the point is that at the high school reunion, no one spoke to me for the first almost 2 hours because they were intimidated. And they start saying that towards the end. They're like, oh, it's so uncomfortable. You look so good. You're so fit. You're so muscular. And I was like, I'm in LA, and they're like, oh, are you a model? And I was like, model? No. Anyway, so that was that experience. So let's get with the question. So I'm going to frack out of here very soon because sun going down, y'all. The time is changing to winter or fall. No, winter. Winter, fall. Fall? No, fall. Okay. Camille says, I worked out at home and play your videos to learn when I'm lifting. Feels like you're my personal trainer. Aww. See, I hope to perfect my body, be like you. You can, Camilla. I think the thing is that people feel like, we have our own genetic potential. And yes, you guys might have done some damage you cannot correct. But where you can take your body that you thought you couldn't is unfathomable. You guys don't realize what you can actually do to better your DNA. Keto is just one way to do it. Thank you, Rod. Thank you, Rod Smith. Can you explain blood glucose going up after 6 months of being on the keto diet? Not really, Alda. Like, I don't, like, you, look, you guys, let me tell you something. If you want to ask a question about why your blood sugar is going up, can you give me a little bit more background? And then you can't over explain because, my phone's only that big. So essentially, I can tell you some of the reasons why people's blood sugar rebounds. Stress, right? Gluconeogenesis, cortisol, adrenal stress, right? Your immune function might have gone down, right? I don't know how old you are. Are you premenopausal? That could spike your blood sugar. Poor sleep spikes your blood sugar. These are the main things. But, like, I don't know your health prior. So I don't know. Christina wants to know if she can get enough fat with avocado. What? No. No. You guys know I've been researching a lot about this whole carnivore primal concept, and a lot of people even have latex allergies. First of all, we are not avocados, okay? Last time I checked, I was not an alien egg. Okay, it's mostly monounsaturated fat, and we are not mostly monounsaturated fat. We are monodominant, saturate, and then poly. And we need those 3 fatty acid profiles with high levels of, like, lovely, fantastic vitamin D, and some things have A and K and K2, and we need them, and we need our fat soluble vitamins, and unfortunately avocado just doesn't do that. Trace minerals are necessary. Was it necessary? Yeah, through your diet mostly. The main mineral that you should be consumed or concerned about is magnesium, because it's very hard to get. There's magnesium in meat, there's potassium in meat, but there's not a lot. There's more in bone marrow. Take coconut oil like supplement. Well, coconut oil is not a keto fat, so it's a great fat with lauric acid for your immune function or to help kill off viral and bacterial infections, but it's not a keto fat. That's another myth. It's primarily animal fat. Boop. Now, you can use avocados if you don't have a latex allergy toward your keto adaptation, but it's actually animal fat that gets you adapted. That's what fat adapts you, and you guys are still afraid to up the fats. You see, I think you said I'm 47 and still working on autoimmunity probably, and gut issues. Have been doing keto for 1.5 years. How long until you think my gut issues will clear? So, Camilla, there's a lot of stuff that you have to do to your gut issues of them. So, like, I don't know if you're eating anything that's inflammatory. I don't know if you're getting any probiotic that's to your gut issues. I don't know how your stress is. I don't know how your breathing is. I don't know if you're taking any foods with any anti-nutrients that irritate the gut wall. So if it's been 1.5 years, that might be the problem, but probably a lot of it's from poor sleep. I'm not gonna lie. Do we have a Wi-Fi glitch? Because it just went quiet. Okay, here we go. Thanks for your videos. I have to lose over 100 pounds, and I'm excited to learn from someone who has done her homework. Yes. So, is it Pamela or Pamela? No, Pamela. Pamela? The thing is that people can use keto to lose weight, but you guys, you must regulate your insulin, and you must factor in, which a lot of men don't think about, your estrogen dominance. All these men are like insulin regulating, but they don't talk about if you can poop or not. Like if you can't poop, can't get out the estrogen, and you're not going to lose that fat. So those things gotta fit perfectly. You know, that's another reason why people's blood sugar would never remain stable, because they can't poop, they can't get out the toxins, and estrogen just keeps recirculating back into the bloodstream. I'm definitely under a lot of stress. Exactly, I'm coming from and caring for both of my older parents. Honey, I know. I feel you. I get up there, they get up there. No, I'm not carnivore. No. I'll never, I shouldn't say never, but there's no need for me particularly. I think the carnivore diet is perfectly designed for people with really, really bad anti-nutrient reactions. And they just can't eat plants. Like they have like diverticulitis, they've got Crohn's, and they've got freaking so many problems with their immune system. And that doing like an all meat raw, because it's raw, right? It's not cooked. An all meat raw freaking like eggs and freaking what is it? Salmon roe and pork and ribeye, cuts of ribeye. I think that can be advantageous for those who are so sick with their digestion to the point that it's probably linked, if you have cancer, linked. And so therefore it would be more like a keto carnivore, which means you're going to keep your fats really, really high so you can be ketotic while eating only meat. So if you don't have histamine issues with plants, which I don't, then I still eat plant source foods. But because of learning so much more about the carnivore diet, I'm not eating as much as I thought that you needed. So, you know, every day you learn something new and then you just progress with the times. Steph, I'm still bruising really easy. Oh, so your body may not be absorbing vitamin K. It's a clotting factor. I scratch and have giant bruises with 12 hours. I eat greens. What is my, I don't know, man, I have no idea. Like, did this start with keto? Like, was this, like, you guys, you can't just, like, no, could you even say that to a doctor? Like, a doctor who's like a hematologist, who's a blood doctor couldn't answer that question. You guys got to deconstruct things and present it in a way where I can understand. Like, hey, I've been bruising, I did keto. Hey, I've been bruising for this many years. Like, I don't know. I don't even know what you look like. I don't know anything about you. And the old Stephanie, I would always try to give an answer, and now I'm learning how to say, I don't know. Let me see if I read that right. Let me see. I'll scratch and have giant bruises within 12 hours. I mean, you're obviously having a clotting factor, so I don't know what that is. You know, I don't know if you're eating a ton of greens, and then the greens are creating the friggin' clotting issue. I don't know. You know? I don't know. I don't know if you should try, like, organ meats. I don't know if you're too sensitive to vitamin A, which is high in organ meats or liver. I don't know. Let's see. Thank you for taking the time to answer questions. Thank you so much, Giannis. If I said that right. Giannis? I hope I said your name right. There's no best greens to eat for Hashimoto's, Margaret, because a lot of people have different types of histamine response to different types of plant source foods. So obviously with people with Hashis, you have to be careful with you have to be careful with the cruciferous vegetables, but just cook them. If you're gonna do spinach, if you're gonna, like, don't do, what I can say is avoid kale, because they fed kale to pigs and they develop thyroid issues. So don't do kale, but do other greens, cook them, and test to see how you react to it. Because I don't know your level of reactions to these things. Get them, Deborah. Deborah is on it. I love this. This becomes a normal stream. Like, here's one thing, you guys. I don't understand why other streamers feel like they've got to take the abuse from trolls. I don't understand that. Even in the comment sections, if somebody says something stupid, I just delete and block them. Like, I don't care. This is not, I don't know why people feel like they've got to protect people's freedom of speech in the chat. I'm like, bye. You're annoying me. You're like a gnat. Pink. So thank you, Deborah, so I don't have to even react to them. Should I take my blood glucose in the morning before I move out from the bed? Yes. That's the best before you pee. As long as you're not like, I gotta pee, I gotta pee. Just take it really quickly, right out of bed, because that's objective. Don't pop up and run around. Because if you pop out of bed and start running around and test your blood sugar, it's going to be subjective. So the best is a fasted number is like, it's right there in your nightstand, and just test and be like, you're taking nice deep diaphragmatic breaths and just relax and then test. And that's more objective. What time is it? Ooh, it's almost 7 o'clock. I haven't eaten anything. My bike. I gotta tell you guys this story, like, just to get off topic for just 1 second. I love riding my bike. I realize I love riding my bike when I can't ride it. I have a temper tantrum like a child, like a baby. I'm angry. I'm throwing stuff. I'm pissed. How about broccoli? If you don't have an aversion to broccoli, it's a cruciferous. So if you've got, and broccoli has some other compounds in it that are really really good for some people. Cook it, just cook that mother sucker, and don't worry about the fiber, because we're now learning with people doing a carnivore diet, they cut out all fiber and actually poop better, because people don't realize that fiber bulks in the colon. It can irritate the colon, scratch the colon, and we've been told all the time to take a bunch of fiber supplements to poop, and these people telling you to take fiber supplements are not factoring if you have any type of histamine issue from plants. Those people don't do well on fiber. So we got to be careful with what we're told. But anyway, so I go to ride my bike this morning. I'm super stoked. Tire's low. I was like, oh, I got a little bicycle pump, right? Hold on, guys. I was like, oh, perfect. I got a little bicycle pump. We'll just, pump up my bicycle, pump up my air. So I'm pumping up the air, sorry, on these S3, S9 Focus things, Samsung S9, annoying. I'm going like this, and the little thing that you stick the pump onto, it bends and it breaks. I'm pissed. I'm so pissed. I'm pissed. I'm so pissed. Now I have to drive to the gym. Drive to the gym? What? So my knee's jacked, so it's really hard for me to walk all the blocks to the gym. So I love riding my bike. And then I've got to be under the freaking timer, because here in LA, you just can't park in a parking garage. If you stay longer than this, you start having to pay like $6 every 15 minutes. And I was like, so everybody runs out of the gym so they don't get screwed up on their parking ticket. And then I have some errands to do. And then so I go and I put my bike, that heavy bike, because it's a hybrid bike, I stick it in my car, and I'm like, can someone help me please? Because this thing is heavy as shite. So I'm pulling, I'm dragging. These two people are watching me put it in the car. I was like, wow, you watching me do this. And I go to one bicycle store. They're like, oh, well, we'll have it for you tomorrow. I was like, no, I need it today. That's my bike. It's my baby. So I go to another bicycle shop, and I'm just stuck in LA traffic like, You don't believe me? I took pictures for my friend with every light and every time I stop with my phone to show how bad the traffic is in LA. So you guys got to understand, a lot of you are not adapting because of just life. You think it's normal to sit in traffic for an hour or drive an hour to your job? Do you know how fucked up that is for your central nervous system? You know how many people have sciatica and develop sciatica and back problems because they don't use their muscles enough? They're constantly sitting in a C shape, which creates poor circulation in the upper trunk. Their gallbladder is getting all junked up, and estrogen is getting all the biliary system is messed up, and people are just messed up. Estrogen in the liver, and now in the gallbladder, and then they do keto, and then they feel nauseous and want to throw up, and this is why people fail. So I've designed my life to where I'm not going to drive everywhere. Why would I do that? That's stupid. Okay, I've got a screwed up knee. If I didn't have this knee problem, I would be walking everywhere. People don't do that. I've designed my life to where I can go to the gym and I can do body weight exercises, I can do diaphragmatic breathing, I can do time under tension, I can do calisthenics, I can lift, and I don't have to lift heavy, and I don't have to rush because I'm on that. I don't have to park in the parking garage. So using the bike as a situational, I like kind of like a visual. of me stuck in traffic to drive what? 2 miles? Over an hour? So this is the reason why you guys have a lot of cortisol. This is the reason why people are like, I've been doing this for a year and I don't understand why my gut's not healing. You have to change your life, guys. Okay, so I'm feeling great, but my blood is 93. Yeah, so, is it Rocio? Sleep problems. You mentioned that you buy, what is it? That you buy Swedish antiperspirant. Yeah, I love it. I just have somebody from Sweden send it to me, so. It's called Rosenserien. Didn't even think about that you had a car. Yeah, I have a car. Nobody thinks I have a car. They're like, you have a car? I was like, yeah, I have a car. I just never drive it. You guys, I put gas in my tank every 2 months. And I live in Los Angeles with horrible public transportation. Because I have designed my life to be the way I want it to be. So I visualize what I want and then I go for it because I'm a fixer. Yes, thank you. I try MB to keep it real. I watch these people do live streams about keto and I'm like, some of it's interesting and then I kind of get bored. I'm like, can you show who you really are? Like, go there, right? Because when you're online, you can just literally, you can just present whatever image you want. I would love to see somebody just like, fuck! Oh, oops. On these other health professionals when I watch their live streams. Oh, they're so boring. Okay, started eating lower fatty meats and felt better, but completely devoid of the pain of my lower right side. Oh, sounds like your gallbladder. I mean, then there's ox bile salts, there's BT and HCl, and then you got to eat like slow because nobody eats slow anymore. Like if you're in a group of like 30 people at a table, there's only one really who eats slow. Everybody's like, oh, blah. Especially if you're like running around town, people eat so darn fast. Let me see, right? I lived in Cali 2 years for grad school, visited all over the States except LA, just didn't want to deal with the traffic. Yeah, the traffic is it's like yesterday I was getting my car fixed, so I had to Uber to some appointments, and I was like, I'm going to Uber at traffic time. You can listen to me all day. I can listen to me all day. I'd be like, ah! If I hear my video playing, I'm like, turn off the volume. I don't want to hear the sound of me talking. I talk too much. Does your ketone level in the morning should be high or low? It should be in a range. So it's not like high. If it's too high, then the body's not using the ketones. So you want to be between a 1.8 and a 3.0. That's the sweet spot range with your blood sugar in moderation, not moderation, in sort of like in a synergistic correlation. Yes, correlation to the ketones. You want them to work together. Blood sugar low, but not too low. Ketones high, but not high. Sweet spot, blood sugar, sweet spot, ketones, energy, and now you crack a lack. And now you healing. Now the autoimmunity is starting to be addressed. I don't have that much energy to work out. No. So what is it? Is it Rocio or Rocio? Or I don't know how to say your name, but phonetically. But if you're too tired to work out, it sounds like thyroid. I don't know if you're a woman or a male. Could be adrenal fatigue, like your cortisol's too low all day long and then it spikes at night. And that's super inflammatory. If you're too tired to work out, you could have like chronic low blood sugar, low cortisol, and you got to fix that stuff because you will age fast if you don't fix it. Must fix. Let's see. I've been on keto for a year now. Lots of weight, lost lots of weight. But my problem is constipation. Which I've had since childhood. What could this? Okay, Pearl, I can't tell you why you have constipation. I can tell you the different reasons why people have constipation. Number one, thyroid. Yes, okay. Number two, leaky gut, candida, leaky gut, holes in the small intestine. small intestinal bacterial overgrowth or too many parasites and little nasty fungus growing in the colon. Now, it could be not from drinking enough water, could be from taking too many laxatives, and you could have like lazy colon, or poor quality food that you are reacting to, feeling great on the keto carnivore. Tell me more and why. Okay, so you guys, I'm not a carnivore expert because true carnivore people do this stuff raw, okay? And super fatty cuts, like the main meat I believe that carnivore people eat is probably beef, and then some like to eat pork. You guys are so afraid of pork and the parasites. We are just so brainwashed. So the reason why you feel better is because you're probably sensitive to plants. This is the reason. People don't realize we're eating plants out of season. Okay, so plants have defenses. They have chemical defenses, so they don't want to be eaten. They don't have teeth. So things like salicylates and oxalates and goitrogens and nightshades and blah, 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 and lectins and phytates. These things in certain people with already genetic, people who've already have like genetic weaknesses, not necessarily mutations, who've got poor gut biome prior or grew up on a sad diet. When they start eating these foods as they get older, certain plants, their body just their body just starts releasing a lot of histamine, and there's a lot of inflammation in the gut. And to heal the body from typical things like Crohn's, IBS, diverticulitis, other autoimmunity like rheumatoid arthritis. People even go and do it for whatever, tons of autoimmunity. Multiple sclerosis is another one. Lupus is another one. And people will do sort of a keto carnivore, which keto just means high fat, so you're producing enough viable ketones. They get rid of the vegetables because the vegetables are killing them. Who would have thunk that we could live an all meat diet and still poop and get all of our vitamins from protein? Because no one talks about fat soluble vitamins. No one talks about the amino acid profile or the fatty acid profile. Let me see. Thank you. It works. And I had no idea I would feel so good. I didn't even feel good on Atkins because Atkins is crap. They didn't have enough. Dr. Atkins, he died from because he slipped on his head, slipped on the ice and had a hematoma. People could say he had cancer and heart attack. No. Even Dr. Atkins did not know where this would go because he died before he started learning more about ketogenesis. Are there any supplements or diet suggestions to help under active thyroid function normally? So, Rod, yeah. So, like, you want to have foods where you want to get the sun to get vitamin D3. So the thyroid needs D3. It needs foods with D, like egg yolks, if you don't have histamine response to it. It needs zinc. It needs selenium. It needs iodine, which is in sea kelp, which helps a lot. It needs these types of micronutrients and minerals, but also just getting your electrolytes in will help so the thyroid doesn't start to become underactive even more because you're not adapting. So things like magnesium, which is hard to get high in foods if you are magnesium depleted. I hope that helps. Ooh, it's getting dark. Getting dark up in here. Let's see if I can get some light going, guys. Some light? Ooh. Ugh, that is too bright. Let's turn this light down. What is the sea kelp? Where do you get it? Oh, you can Google that, MB. I don't even know where you live to tell you where to get it. Oh, that's a warmer light, yeah? That's warm. It's fabulous. Right? Makes apps pop. Okay. I want to buy your book. Yes. It's not available because I'm still writing it. The book is a long story, so that's something I haven't shared with the internet as of yet. But you guys will know, and it'll be done soon, and it'll be published, and it'll be out, and it'll be really exciting. And I'm glad that it's coming out later because now I can incorporate the concepts of the carnivore diet. I'm not doing a carnivore book but I can go more into why people are reacting so poorly off of plant source foods. And, not so having the fear of, getting people to lower their plant source foods, and also focus on really quality, because I'm always afraid to have people eat high quality foods. Do you do these live streams every day? I do them every other day, and I do them around this time, like starting a couple of hours ago. Like I'd probably, what is it? Like around 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time in Los Angeles. Is weight training good for everyone? Yes, it is good for everyone. Done correctly. Same thing with keto. Keto is great for people, but they have to be patient. They have to learn. They have to really clear out all the allergenic foods and focus on high quality foods and get to bed and breathe and connect to the circadian rhythm. So you guys, which is reminding me that if I have to turn on a light, right, because the sun's going down, that means it's past 7 o'clock. And I thought I'd go live because I didn't go live yesterday. And I won't go live tomorrow, and I might go live Friday or Saturday, but I just want to do this quick live stream. For anybody out there still in the chat who didn't like up the stream, it would be awesome if you guys could like up the stream, because again, that helps the YouTube algorithm. Is there any antiperspirant in the US that is comparable to? No, because that's why I went to the Swedish one, is because all like the 20,000 ones that I tried, I didn't like. I personally didn't like. But that's just me. So you might go and test around and find one that you like. Yes, you need to go eat. Yes, I do need to go eat, because the last time that I ate, it's called like Ancient Minerals. Somebody's asking about my eyeliner. As you guys can see, I don't really wear that much makeup. Ancient Minerals for my eyeliner. What else is going on here? Hi guys! I think it's time for Stephanie to go enjoy her eat. I don't have a device on antiperspirants. Just get one that has no chemicals in it and doesn't give you a rash and tear up your skin. That's natural. You can make your own. I won't. That takes too much time, honey. I'm already taking too much time preparing my food. Let's see. I hope there will be an audiobook. Yes, I will push to make sure that there is an audiobook. Yes, thank you guys for getting the likes up. Obviously, I have more likes than the people in the chat, but people have come and gone. I know it's getting late for a lot of you guys, so especially like my mod. So I think it's time to go, because I don't want my mod to overwork. And let's see. So excess protein still a concern? Yeah, because people doing our carnivore diet are supposed to eat really high fat, not high protein. And that's where the confusion is. Yeah, you can still go into gluconeogenesis. You can still have kidney issues if you're eating a lot of sirloin and freaking skirt steak and lean meats on a carnivore diet. It should be super fatty pork belly cut of beautiful fat. Thank you, Steph. You are wonderful. Thank you so much, Christina. Really appreciate it. Okay, guys, this is it. Now the sun's getting darker and darker, and I've been running all day, as you guys know. If you guys don't know Instagram, which is Stephanie Ketogenic, I am doing a lot of stuff there. I actually do stuff there every day, even though I cannot stand social media. There's a little bit of pleasure in doing live streams on YouTube. They just exhaust me because I'm trying to answer so many questions. Thank you, Lana. Thank you, Camilla. What is it? Or what is it? Charmed Lisa 71. Gotcha. Wonderful and beautiful. Thank you, Night. Bye, Jackie. Glad that you came back, because yeah, I talked to Jackie a long time ago. Now she's back. She's doing a keto carnivore because she saw me talk about it, I think last stream or the stream before, which is awesome. So at first I was like, oh, this carnivore thing's ridiculous. But the more I learn about it, and then I started having people try to do, I wouldn't call it carnivore because I haven't had anybody eat raw meat yet. Like, I want people to do that on their own. I'm not going to do that. I don't even know where they're sourcing their meats. But if people need to cut down their veggies and eat more protein and eat really fatty cuts of grass-fed and healthy animals, then I'm a proponent of that. You know, people on the carnivore diet believe, and I believe too, that our stomachs are so acidic, but you guys have low stomach acid from proton pumps and alcohol, caffeine, poor diet, and if you don't have enough breaking down enzymes and peptides to break down proteins and also enough stomach acid, then if you do run across bacteria or or parasites, you don't kill them. Otherwise, you can kill them because we have very, very acidic stomachs. We are scavengers. We are not hind digesters. These are the things that I'm learning, like animals that ruminoids, animals that graze, they eat and then they swallow and then they vomit back up and then they chew it again and then they vomit it and then they chew it and then they have a lot of gut bacteria. The stomach, sorry, bacteria that can break down this fiber and then they can turn it into short chain fatty acid and use it as a fat. We can't do that. It just fracks up our gut. You have to be careful when they comment about how she looks or propose what. So sometimes they get out of the hand. I didn't even see Deborah, so it's giving carnivore. Let me see. I'm giving the carnivore thing a try about excess protein. Yes. So it's always the same. I call it keto carnivore because you're not eating a bunch of meat. If you eat a bunch of lean meat, you can irritate your kidneys. So it is still going to be keto. You just basically, it's a step ketogenic diet on high quality proteins, and don't overcook it, please, because you're going to kill out all these things that you need, these nutrients. You're going to cook them out and put carcinogens in it. You cut out the veggies. You're going to cut out a lot of cleansing foods. Veggies are cleansing, but they also can create irritating to the digestion, and the fiber can irritate some people with Crohn's. So with that said, try to do high quality foods. Keep your fat super high. You can put lard in there and beef tallow and butter. Throw it all in there in your carnivore diet. Keep your fats real high, and keep your protein moderate to low. Same as keto. All right, guys, have a fantastic evening. Thank you for joining this fabulous chat. And I will see you towards the weekend, maybe. Because I'm like, look at me, I'm starting late with everything. So no, really, thank you guys for joining this live broadcast. And I hope everybody a fantastic morning and night. Thank you again, Deborah. Thank you, Gary, for always being so kind. Thank you, Deborah, again, for being my mod. I really needed you today. So, and here you were, and it was awesome. What can we do for kidney health? Oh, just eat high quality foods. Drink a lot of water, right? Get that freaking liver to function properly, because when the liver doesn't work well, then the kidneys become overstressed, trying to detoxify things. And answering a question about good kidney health takes a long time, and I'm about to leave, so peace out. The short answer of it is don't eat a bunch of meat. Don't overeat protein, which is what people do because they're afraid of fat. Don't eat lean meats, and drink a shite load of water, but don't drink too much water or you're going to burst, not burst, but you're going to make your cells be inefficient. Know exactly how much water you need to cleanse the kidneys. Okay, guys. Thank you so much for joining this chat. Thanks, guys. And thank you, Deborah. And good night, guys. Good night, Jackie. And I'm out.